like mine. Ever gonna quit? Hell nah. Hell nah. Will I dumb it down a bit? Hell nah. Hell nah. Am I running with this? I really am. You know you right. I bring the levels to this.
To share some stuff with you that can help you with your finances and help you to build your wealth. You are in the wealth industry, so it's only good that you are also practicing it. And then that can also help you with achievement, because achievement leaves tracks. I mean, if you look at the top service advisor or the top broker, there are certain things that they do differently. So achievement is a science, but happiness is an art. Because what's going to make you happy, might not make me happy. So we'll dive into some of that stuff. So I started my career in the banking industry. It was at Absa Bank. And it was just an entry-level job as a bank teller, and I was in the beginning I was messing up quite a bit with a few transactions, because I'm not very detail-orientated, but I love the people side. And I was very ambitious. I was always going for different interviews, and my colleagues told me, Lee, why are you going for so many interviews? You never get the job. You've been on like 30 interviews, so what do you specialize in, interviews or something? And the funny thing is, I got a job as a recruitment consultant. And it taught me that there will be people that criticize you everywhere you go, and your failures are preparing you for something, and it's there to guide you into a direction. Because I enjoyed going on interviews because I met so many different people. So it was by luck and also by preparation, because you realize that the failure is there to guide you in a certain way, and it's there to develop your character. Jim Rohn always used to say that success is something that you attract by the person you become, by becoming an attractive person. If you look at the lotto winners, most of them end up being broke again or in the same financial situation. Why is that? The guys make millions, but it's the habits, it's the consistency behind it, and it's the person that they've become. So I got this job in recruitment, and in the beginning it was really tough, because it was a lot of cold calling, and I was 22 at the time. So I had one good month and one bad month, and then eventually by looking at what the top guys are doing, continuously training and learning, eventually I started making my targets. And it's weird, because you're actually selling people legally. It's quite a fascinating industry. And so once I was making the targets, I started becoming really bored, because I didn't actually have any long-term goals. I had goals for the company. I wanted to perform at the company. I wanted to get the vouchers and the performance and the recognition from my boss. But I didn't know what I wanted. I just knew that I wanted to buy an expensive car. I wanted to have nice clothes, and my plan was to buy property. And I started learning about investments and property, and then that time because I didn't know what I wanted, I just finished my degree, and I took the first job that I got that paid the most money, which is probably what most people do. And I joined Euromonitor. They're actually also here in Senshi City. And I took the job because they call it a business development executive, so it's a nice title. But it's actually a sales rep, basically. And it's selling information into Africa. So when I found out if you sell a $50,000 subscription, you get 14% of this, my eyes lit up, my mouth is watering. I was thinking that I have to do this. And I started hearing that song of Lil Wayne, I made it, because that's all I wanted. I just thought it was just about the money. And I made more calls than my entire team combined. I learned the product in 2 weeks, where it normally takes somebody 2 months. I was so determined, because I knew that this is the chance where I can buy property and get my foot into the door. And once I do that, then I'm set, I'm made. And once I did that the first time, I did it again, and then I realized that I'm not becoming better. So it lasted for like a month where I was happy. Who here has ever had a situation where there was something that you really, really, really wanted, that you have right now, that you thought you really wanted it, and when you got it, you didn't feel as happy? You were like, is this it?
Oh yeah.
Right? Did you ever have that situation?
No.
And that's exactly what happened to me.
Only you.
And it's completely normal to feel like that. And what I realized is that I wasn't actually becoming better anymore. I wasn't progressing. So even though when I was in recruitment it was hard, it was more struggle, but I was becoming better. Whereas at the new environment, I only had goals to make money, get the property, and now once I had that, I was like, okay, I don't know what to do with myself anymore. And then I saw that there were certain gaps in the information, and I wasn't as inspired that I was before, and I started becoming really miserable at work. And the boss couldn't understand because he's thinking you're making enough money, so why are you unhappy? But I told him I'm not becoming better. I've actually started becoming worse, and I was actually becoming miserable. I even started researching what is happiness, because I was thinking like I got the money, but like I feel so unhappy. And it said being grateful. I was like, being grateful? I'm grateful for the car, that's why I want a better one, you know. I'm grateful for the job, that's why I want more money. But I didn't understand gratitude, and I started negging myself out. So I became so unhappy because I was seeing the negative in the boss, seeing the negative in the environment, seeing the negative in the colleagues. And I became so unhappy that I started taking off, and I know I shouldn't say this, I was very mature at that stage, but I started taking off work and calling in sick, and I wasn't sick. And then I started pretending at the doctor that I got this knee injury because I was playing football and my knee always looked red. And I started fantasizing, what if I just had a week off just to sleep, just to relax, just to recuperate. And then because I was playing a lot of football and I was super overconfident like I normally am, and I tried to run the ball into the poles, the goalkeeper dived into the side of my knee, my knee twisted, and I tore my ACL and my MCL ligaments. I couldn't even walk properly. I couldn't walk actually. I had a brace on my leg. I was on crutches. I had to move in back with my parents.
Talk about asking for time off, eh?
Yeah, that's a lot of time off. So you get what you
did that to yourself.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like you really get what you think about most of the time and what you really want. You might not be saying it, but if you believe it, it's probably going to happen. And then I became more frustrated. I had a target of $17,000 to make, but I had to take off half a day to do physio at UCT every single day. So I had half the salary and the same target. So I decided to leave and do start my own business. And when I started, I did it out of anger. So it's very important having the right emotional state. Where have you made your best decisions in life? Was it when you were happy, or when you were sad or angry? Can you remember the best decisions you made? It's normally when you're in a good emotional state.
The mindset.
Yeah, because how you feel, let's say after you take a good run or a jog, or maybe you and your partner have some fun together, or whatever the case is, it puts you in a good emotional state. Even if you taste your favorite food, you do something that puts you in a good frame of mind, now you can make better decisions. But if you're angry, even if you're the smartest person in the world, you make very, very stupid decisions. And that's exactly what happened. The way I was treating my clients at that time, I was just focusing on the sale. I just wanted to make money. And I thought that I knew everything about recruitment and I didn't need any help. I blamed my boss for annoying me. I blamed the coach for making me play. And I didn't take responsibility for anything at that stage. And that was why I wasn't actually getting the results. So all I told myself was, all I want to do is just make one sale in this business. Just one sale. And in 7 months, that's what happened. I made one sale. My father's a school teacher and I love him to bits. He's a maths teacher. But I used to ask him, like, so I used to tell him about my day. Yeah, Dad, I had such a bad day. Whatever. He told me, yeah, you know, the economy is tough. You should read in the news. Industries are going down. South Africa's going down or whatever. And I would even tell him, wow, Dad, look outside. It's a beautiful day. And he would say, look at this window. There's dirt in this window. So he was always looking at the downside. And I started believing that because I started thinking, okay, a few companies say that they're going through bad times, so the industries must be down. And so the results gave me exactly that. So I wasn't actually getting the amount of business that I would normally get. And then one of my clients was actually Liberty Life. And they told me that if you really wanted to get into understand wealth and sales and also income protection, because I didn't know about income protection, that I was going to get an income if I had this policy. And I was like, that's actually amazing. People need to hear about this. People need to know about investments. They need to know about wealth. So I dived straight in, did the exams, passed with 80% plus. I was so proud. And I thought I'm going to tell everybody about my new knowledge, newfound knowledge. And everybody's going to buy because I know all of this stuff. I know how to protect you, protect your family, make you millions over time. And when I started calling customers, they were not interested. Some customers were interested, but it's only the customers that know that you care about them. They don't care about your knowledge. John Maxwell says, he's the guru of leadership, and he says people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Even if your boss tells you, do this, do that, if you think this guy doesn't care about me, whatever, you will listen to him when you're at work, or her at work, but you won't listen to them outside of that. They've got no influence with you. And I started changing my focus completely with clients. Instead of trying to make the sale, I started thinking, how can I help them change their lives? How can I help them improve their lives? I had one client of mine. He was a candidate that I placed a while ago, and he was still in that same position. And I tried to go and discuss financial planning with him, and he told me he didn't have enough disposable income because he's the sole breadwinner and he's got 3 kids and whatever. And he told me he can't get a job. He said he's a white male, he's 50 years old, and BE and ESCOM and the economy or whatever. And we're good buddies, and he's a very nice guy, very, very nice guy. But because of all the stuff that he's been reading and believing, now he's negative. So now he said he can't find a position. So I said, is that really true? Are there really no jobs out there? Because when I do a search, I find jobs. So he said, no, Lee, I'm just not finding it because there are no opportunities, the economy's down. And I said, you know what? Because you believe that, that's why you're getting that results. Because now you won't send out your CV, you won't even fix your CV properly, you probably have the wrong number on there because you've already told yourself that finding a job is hard. And guess what? It was hard for him. And I sent him some sales books. I told him, let's help you with your CV. And I said, you know what? I believe in you, God believes in you, your family believes in you. You can make this happen, but you need to believe there are opportunities. In a week, he found a job offer, but it was the same salary. The only difference was they gave him a bonus extra. So he said, Lee, but the offer's not what I want. I said, that's fine, but it shows you that it's possible. That's all you need to know for now, that there are opportunities. So let's work on that. How are you going to sell your value? What have you achieved in your last company? How have you made your employer money? And what can you offer the next employer? He found that a new job in the solar industry, because he was in the oil and gas industry, his company started retrenching. And he got a 50% increase. He went from 500,000 to 750 per annum, and he only works till 3 o'clock every day.
Wow.
And it's in the solar industry. So it was like a dream come true, but it was him. I didn't do anything. He just started believing in himself more, started seeing the opportunities and taking the steps. The guy sent me so many referrals. I got so many clients from him before he even bought anything. And then he even called me to say he wants to invest his pension with me. And he knows that I'm young. He knows that I haven't been in the industry for a long time. So if you help people with their lives, even if they don't buy now, even if it's your boss and you help them with their situation, if they're angry at you, they're just projecting. That's all it is. It's just projecting. They're not really angry at you. And I realized how happy that made me feel. It was better than closing a big deal or making a large amount of money. And I never felt like that before, because before I was only focused on the external stuff and the money. I didn't look at helping someone else. And when this guy was so happy, and I helped a few others, and I realized I'm going back into that industry, even though I had a failed business. I'm going to go back. But I was scared. I was very scared because I knew that this time, if I don't make it, I'll never be able to get a job in that industry again. I might not even be able to get work again. And even the boss at Cousins told me that they just retrenched 25 recruitment consultants. Nobody in Cape Town's making target. The target's increase. It's now 120,000. They're going to push it up to 130,000. So you have to make that every single month from scratch. So they don't give you clients. There's a candidate pool and there's a client pool, but you have to make it all happen. So you match it up from scratch. And even the colleagues, when I started, quite negative, saying, it's impossible to make it. And I said, you know what, that's your reality. And I told my partner that I'm going to do whatever it takes, because that's what worked for me in the past. When I said, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do whatever it takes, that's when I made it happen. So no excuses. I don't care about what's happening in the economy. I'm not even going to read the news. And I started getting up earlier, exercising more, and I basically created some rituals for myself. So every day I learned something new. So either if it's on an audio tape while I'm getting dressed or whatever, exercise regularly, because when you exercise, you're basically becoming stronger. Now fear is something that's physical. So if you get scared often, just go for a run, go pick up some weights, go and do something physical. I promise you'll get out of that space immediately. I also pray about what I'm grateful for 3 minutes, because you can't be grateful and scared at the same time. You can only be one. You can't be happy and angry at the same time. So because I'm grateful, I feel like I've already won. It's easy for me to push through the boundaries. When I was at Liberty for the induction, we had a financial advisor that became a quadriplegic, and he came to come and speak to us. And he said he slipped off his gate because the electric gate wasn't working at that stage, and he fell, and he became a quadriplegic. So he's in a wheelchair and he blows through a straw. Just in order to move to different places. It cost him 7 million just to upgrade his house to accommodate the wheelchair. He needs a special type of wheelchair. He needs a special type of vehicle. His wife left him. His whole life changed. But it just shows you we are really wealthy. You might not see it now. But what you have, money can't buy. I even had my physio also told me a story about this one patient that he had. The guy was just driving to work. He stopped at the robot, and a car came in from behind, smashed the car, it folded, took his legs with it. Both legs amputated. Now he's got no legs. He lost his job because he's got no legs. So he had to build his fitness and his strength up before he can get the prosthetic leg. A prosthetic leg costs about 500,000. That's not even a real leg. So tell me you don't feel like a millionaire or billionaire right now. Because what you have, money can't buy. And that's why Oprah Winfrey says, if you focus on what you don't have, you'll have less. But if you focus on what you do have, you'll have more. And that's what helped me to put myself in a different state. I had this one colleague of mine when I started there. She was always putting everyone down. She was quite negative. But I didn't know why, because she's a very decent person. And she would always tell me, "Oh, Lee, don't even bother sending that CV because I've got the best candidate. Why are you on the phone all the time? You're not going to have time for that." And then I saw, no, she's always doing this. And I thought, you know what, I'm actually going to leave. I'm not in the mood for this. I don't have time for this. I don't have to deal with this. And then I realized, like, but why is she like that? Because, I mean, she's like that with everyone. And then I thought, you know what, I'm not going to let that stop me. I've already decided I'm going to make it happen no matter what. And I was nice to her every single day. So I greet her and she wouldn't even greet me. So I'd smile, "Hi Tony, how's it going?" And eventually, just by being nice to her, and I heard her calls, I said, why don't you do that? And I asked her, "Do you want this candidate can help you with your job?" Eventually she started making coffee for me. "Lee, would you like some coffee?" "Yes, please." And she started making coffee and whatever, and we actually became friends. And then she became and she even started passing on jobs to me, passing on clients and whatever. And then I found out the reason why she was like that, because she had went through a very bad divorce, and her husband was slightly abusive, more than slightly. And she was on a final warning at work. That was why she was in a bad space all the time. So if you've got somebody around you, maybe your boss, maybe your colleague, maybe your family members, they're going through something bad. Put it this way, if you were going through something bad, if you just had a family member that died, or you just lost your job, or something traumatic happened to you, would you expect people to understand that you're in a bad space? Maybe not. I mean, I used to think that people need to understand, because I had my leg problem until I saw a guy with no legs, and he was wearing sunglasses, he was walking in the sunshine, and he looked super happy. But to get back to the story, so while I was at Cousins, I said, okay, this is what I'm going to resolve to do. And I listened to this one audio program, and it taught me that if you work on yourself harder than you work on your job, you will become a lot more successful. In fact, if you work hard on yourself than you do on your job, you'll make a fortune. But if you work hard on your job, you'll make a living. So a lot of people work 12, 14, 16 hours in their job, but they're not living their dream. They're not working on themselves. So when that business opportunity comes, can they actually handle it? So you have to do more than you get paid for. And I'm not saying having a job is a bad thing. Having a job is an amazing thing, because there's so many people that's unemployed. So you must be grateful for your job. I was very grateful for my job. It puts food on the table. It allows me to do things that I wouldn't normally be able to do. So that's a good thing, but that's for now, because anything can happen at your company. Anything can happen with your position. And then you can still take the skills with you. You can always take the skills with you. So if you are preparing to be a business owner, what does that look like? What type of person do you want to become to lead that business? Or to become that actor? Or to become the chef? Or whatever your real passion is? Because if you don't work on yourself, you're going to end up getting the same results. You can work harder, but you're going to get the same results. So I started working on myself all the time. I treated the clients differently, and it was hard in the beginning, but instead of trying to make the sale, I always asked the client, so how can I help you? What type of work do you do? What's important in your job? What are your major challenges that you're experiencing? And by just treating them differently, I said, I'm not here to make a sale. I want to bring you candidates that's going to add value to your business, that's going to be successful here. So I'm not here to make a sale. So even if you don't have any business, that's fine. Let's just chat, let's just meet. And I started getting a lot of business. I smashed my targets every month, even though everybody said it was impossible. So I was the only person in Cape Town to do it. And they even asked me to train the branch, and there were 2 managers. that I was reporting to. And first I thought, why are they asking me? Why aren't they doing the job? They are the managers, so they should be getting paid for it. Because I had that attitude or that philosophy. And then my girlfriend told me, but if you want to become a team leader or business owner and you're training people, is that not doing the job? I said, yeah, that's actually a good point. And like I said, Jim Rohn said, invest more in yourself and do more than you get paid for as an investment in your future. Some people think if they do less, it's fine because I'm getting paid more, so I'm winning. But you're actually doing yourself a disservice. Because what that means is now it becomes a habit to do less all the time. So you're not becoming your best. And when that management position comes up, or that promotion, or that business opportunity, you're scared. You don't have the guts to do it, or you don't even recognize it because you're so used to doing less than what you get paid for and less than what you're capable of. Because we're all capable of amazing things here. When we choose, when we make it a decision. And so I decided, okay, I'll help the team and I'm going to train them. And I even practiced for a week. I was preparing for it and I said, you know what, I just want to give them some tools that's going to help them. And it was the first time they were profitable in 18 months. They smashed their target for the first time in 2 years. They beat Johannesburg for the first time ever. But I did it because I really wanted to help them. And it wasn't just about recruitment. In fact, the training was not even about recruitment. It was more about setting goals, writing down the reasons for your goals. The reasons for your goals are more important than your goals. There's a reason why you are doing certain things, and there's a reason why you're not maybe doing the thing that you say you want. Because the reasons is what drives everything. If you have the right reasons, the how becomes easy. I was so scared when I started at Cousins. Some of the reasons I wrote down is I have to do it for my family. I have to do it to survive. I have to do it in order to become happy, to go on holidays, to be successful, to make my family feel proud of me, for my candidates, for my clients, for my colleagues, for this company to exist. After that, it was like, I have to do it. It wasn't a situation where I was going to see how it's going to go, maybe it will work out. I had to do it. And it was amazing because I did it every single month and it was consistent, even when there were public holidays, even when I went to Mauritius for a week, which was all the expenses were paid by the company. I still made my target because what I learned from the injury and from failing in the past is you need to take accountability. If you say, you know what, okay, I messed up, but it's okay. I can change it. If I messed up, I can change it. It's not the economy, it's not the junk status, it's not Zuma, it's not Eskom. Because put it this way, if the government changed and the economy changed, how much is that going to change for you? Because the economy goes in a cycle. So every economic boom comes after a recession. It's been happening for the last few hundred or thousands of years. So what you can change is yourself. You can't change the economy. You can't change Eskom. You can't change your boss, but you can change yourself. And when you change, everything will change for you. That's one of the famous quotes by Jim Rohn. And I was even helping one of my colleagues at that stage at Cousins. And she's a 55-year-old lady. She was never in sales before, but she's got an amazing attitude. And she doesn't take shit. And she tells it to you straight. And I was listening to a few of her calls, and I said, Manny, what if you try doing this? What if you ask the client what he wants? Ask the candidate what they want. Instead of trying to sell them everything, be more of a consultant. Ask yourself, how can I help this person instead of how can I sell them? Or how can I sell to them? And she was close to getting fired at that stage. But just by changing her perspective on things, I told her, you need to be busy every day. Plan. You feel like you've done so much, but what did I actually achieve today? So I start with every day, writing down my 3 main goals, and then I put down my to-do list that's going to get me to my goals. Because you want to move somewhere, right? You don't just want to be busy every day. She started doing that, and she went from 10,000 Rand billings a month to averaging about, say, 80 to 100,000. They made her permanent. She got the company benefits. They started recognizing her. So there was a lot of changes just by believing in someone and by seeing the best in them. And that's one of the values from Discovery, which I was quite amazed to see, which is nice because you don't see that in companies. They spoke about seeing the best in people, having great people, so you are all great people, but recognizing and encouraging the best in you. Because there's something that you have and that you have and that you have and that you have that you all have that I don't have. But if you don't take time to figure that out, and that's where personal development comes in. So what is important for you? What do you want in the next year? Yeah, I know it might seem impossible, but what do you want? Before we look at the situation, because where you are right now is not where you're going to stay. I wrote down goals when I was at Cousins that looked insane. I could never make it there. But I wrote down the goals and then I prepared myself to be able to accomplish it. The company got liquidated. Everybody was stressed out. And I sat there and I thought to myself, this is what I've been waiting for. And they thought I was weird because I said, I'm going to start my own business. And I said, so my restraint of trade is gone. Everybody was looking at the floors. They're not going to get this money. And I was like, this is an opportunity. I can get the client base. I can close deals. I can start my company. I started getting excited. But it's because I was preparing for that situation all the time. If I wasn't working on myself and thinking like a business owner, doing more than I get paid for, I wouldn't have been ready for the opportunity when it comes. And that was exactly when I met Monet. And even from a skill perspective, you have to work on yourself daily. It's exactly the same when it comes to wealth. You know, I'm sure you all know Mike Tyson, Michael Jackson, Kim Basinger. People make millions and millions of dollars. They make more money in a year than what most people make in their lifetime. But they ended up in debt. Why did they end up in debt if they made so much money? And then I also know of somebody that was in the States. This guy was a general worker. He earned $14,000 a year. Now $14,000 in the States is basically borderline, it's very low income. And he invested 20% of his income from the age of like 35 or 40 or whatever the case may be. And invested until he was 80. The guy ended up with $19 million. He ended up with more money than any of them. But it's how he made it work for him. Einstein said that compound interest is one of the greatest inventions of humankind. Because your money starts working for you. You start making money while you're sleeping. You guys are in the industry, so you probably get intel that people don't normally get. You get discounts that people don't normally get. And over time, you make a lot more money than what you're going to make this month or next year. It's not the amount that counts, it's the plan that counts. If you don't have enough money, it's your plan, it's you. It's not the company. So by continuously investing over time and gaining your knowledge on investments, I promise you, you will become wealthy because now you start learning about investments and property. I mean, I learned some amazing things in a book, and I know a book costs money. I spent 400 Rand on a book, but it taught me how to buy property and rent it out without having to pay for it. Now, can you put a price on that? But you know what I mean? Like, the book might cost you money, but what does it cost you not to read it? It costs you even more. So you need to think of your goals and getting knowledge, speaking to the right people, people that have been where you haven't been, and that's what's going to inspire you. Don't speak to the people that have never done it and now they tell you you can't do it, because that's their reality. And it's going to happen all the time. So after that happened with the business actually flew. But I did exactly the same thing. I was honest with my clients, and I just wanted to help them. And I'm not saying everything worked my way. There's a lot of failure, but now I don't get swayed by the situation. I don't get swayed when somebody tells me, Lee, you don't know what you're talking about. Lee, I don't like you. That's okay. 5% of the world's population will not like you, no matter what you do. And that's okay, because do you like you? Because what if your family believed in you and your boss believed in you and everybody said, you know what, go for that businessman, go for that promotion, go for that management position, go for that director's position. And you said, I don't think I can do it. Doesn't matter. But what if you said, I know I can do it? Then nobody can stop you. Because then you're majority with you, and I don't know how many of you believe in God, it doesn't matter, but whatever helps you find, they don't speak a lot of English. But so they brought us 2 omelets, and I said I didn't want omelets. I asked for sunny side up eggs. And they said, sorry, I don't understand. So I said, no, I didn't order this. I wanted something else or whatever. Like, I don't understand. What do you want? So stop complaining about what you don't have and the situation. What do you want? And I thought, how amazing is that? And they just keep smiling because they don't understand when you complain. just get to the point. And yeah, so my hope is that this session was helpful for all of you in some way. I tried to touch as many points as possible. It wasn't that much time. But thank you for being a great audience.
Yeah. Am I ever gonna quit? Hell no. Will I dumb it down a bit? Hell no. Am I running with the shit? You know you're right. I bring the levels to this. You know you right, man. Ever gonna quit? Hell no.